Something interesting and somewhat disappointing occurred on Twitter a couple of days ago, which kind of made me realize the severity of the situation that we're at right now in terms of our mental psyche as a people. So essentially, a black American woman posted a picture on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, talking about how her afro came back and she had a very long, luscious afro hair. Another person, I don't know what ethnicity they may be, came in and said that he loved hairstyles like this and wishes more women of his race, of his ethnicity, would wear hair like this more often. Basically sending praise and love all around. That's the way I perceive it anyways. The comments basically lashed out at this dude, right? Attacking him, saying things like, shut up, we don't care, keep your opinions to yourself, we don't care. A lot of aggressive, negative tone were coming out from these individuals, which I checked their profile pictures of and their accounts. A lot of them seem to be women, black American women. Some of them were probably Africans, some of them were probably black Europeans. Like, the point is, there's a lot of people, but primarily black Americans, who felt some type of way in what he said. Now, a twist came about in which the individual in question, like the woman who posted the initial picture, came out and posted another image, this time wearing a wig, pointing a middle finger and saying that the last thing I want to do is satisfy or do anything that will please, the N-words, body bags. She said something very derogatory amongst her own ethnic group of men. And this sparked a massive discussion from a lot of the black American men who essentially basically used this as a vindicative opportunity to tell other black American men they should stop dating black American women altogether. This is why you shouldn't waste your time. They took shots at people who followed in the beliefs of Dr. Umar Johnson. They basically just lashed out and mocked anybody who's ever talked positively about black American women. Now, for me personally, this is the way I perceive the whole thing, right? Let's just start off with the black American men who've been using this as an opportunity to attack other black American men who support natural hair. These men never had an interest in dating their own women in the first place. They just used this as an opportunity to express their own desires to date white women, because there are many ethnic groups throughout Africa that literally wear natural hair. There are still black American women who wear natural hair. There are pretty much African women across the world who wear natural hair. If you really wanted to find one, it shouldn't be that difficult, hopefully, right? It shouldn't be that difficult. So this leads me to believe that these men never had any interest whatsoever. Cool. Then there's the massive disappointment that I felt when I saw this black American woman's reaction. It made me realize just how severe this situation is, because I always knew the reason why black American women, and obviously most African women across the world, why they continue to wear their wigs in such a just bountiful amount. Like, it's to the point where I don't understand it anymore, but I know what caused it to begin with. But this level of vindictive hatred that this woman had for her own men, that she went back and put on her wig just to say fuck you to these men, made me realize that a lot of black American women, not all of them obviously, but the ones who choose to act the way that she did, generally have a lot more hate for their men counterpart than they actually do for themselves. It feels like the damage has been done so severely that I don't really think positivity and good words spoken and trying to compliment them will change these women's mind. And the problem that I see with this is that you have I'm no longer going to say a small minority of people anymore. We have a good portion of black American men and a good portion of black American women who generally despise each other and want nothing to do with one another. And they take their frustration online and then they attack each other. And what happens is there's a ripple effect where, let's say there was a black American man who probably never felt anything against black American women. They see the negative things that black American women are saying about them. Now they're switching sides. Now they're joining the resentful side of the Black American men, and vice versa. You can see Black American women who probably never felt anything but love and respect for Black American men. They see the negative shit that they are saying, and they end up switching sides, and this grows further on and just gets into a situation where I don't think there's any recovery, for the situation. But what do I think about all of this? Well, there's a number of things that came to my mind when I first saw this. The first thing is the initial reaction that woman had when she found out a Black American man was praising her and giving her compliments. There is a lot of Black American women who hold resentment towards their counterparts. They don't respect them, and that's the biggest issue. They have zero respect for these men. So whenever these men compliment them, it doesn't register. It doesn't make them feel good. But I'm starting to have a hypothesis that if white man came in and complimented her with that hair, she would have generally felt something positive from it. Because what a lot of Black men don't seem to realize is that our reputation still isn't good. Sure, you have a lot of people warming up to us, but our reputation, our standing, our social credit score, so to speak, is still not that very well received, especially from our own women. Our own women don't seem to have the level of respect that we would like for them to have for us. And that is reflective in the way that no matter what we say to these women, they refuse to listen to us. They don't care. They severely do not respect our existence whatsoever. And the more angry and vindictive this individual is, the more or the less respect that women will have for their men counterpart. And there's also the fact that I believe a lot of us men, we don't have great standards at all, personally. I feel like if we truly don't like women who wear wigs at all, we are generally repulsed by the idea of a woman wearing wigs, we shouldn't really be entertaining a woman like this. We shouldn't really be looking at her direction. We shouldn't even be giving her any sort of attention. But the reality is, a lot of men do give these types of women attention. They will ignore all her flaws just because they want to get some. And that is the problem with a lot of us men. We don't have standards, and we don't enforce those standards, regardless of how people feel about it. That's just my own personal opinion. I also feel like we were wasting our time personally trying to change women who don't want to be changed. I feel like there's this weird mentality that we have to save everyone from our race, and I no longer hold that belief anymore. I feel like if I see two African women, right, one is choosing to wear her wig and she's refusing to take it off, the other woman has embraced her natural hair and is teaching other women to wear her hair naturally, my resources and attention will go to the woman who wears her hair naturally. The woman who wears her wig will not get my resources, will not get my attention, will not get my support. She just will be outcasted. And I feel like if a lot more men do this, right, if we generally just focus our attention and praise and uplift the women who are doing what we want to see be done, naturally, we can just ignore the ones who don't want to do what we don't want to see. It's as simple as that. About 1.2 billion of us on this planet. Around 600 million of them are women. All of them come in all shapes and sizes, and they have their own little personalities and quirks and stuff like that. Not everyone will do what you want to see them do. You have to learn to pick and choose who you want to support. That's just my point. That's really it. There's not really much else to say. I'm not sure what compelled that woman to feel the way that she did, to get so angry and so frustrated from a compliment that praised her natural hair, but it's nothing short of a psychological drama. There's nothing else to it. You cannot be the only race of women who actually get angry when being praised about their natural hair. It's a psychological trauma. That's the only reason. I'll say things like, oh, we're wearing wigs to protect our hair and all that stuff, but it quickly gets debunked when you see African men walk around with their own hair. What are you actually protecting it from? But this is the choice that they've made. We can try as hard as we want to fight against it, but the reality is they've made that choice, and there's not much we can do about it. So that's just my thoughts and opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. Yeah, I'm Paris, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.